Okay. Hello and welcome back to the Football Rundown. We're here with I suppose it's the podcast, isn't it? We did one
Yeah.
a couple of months back. I had it with Nick from SK3 TV. And now we're going to be obviously talking. We've got you on now. And you're a regular from the vlogs. Everyone will know you, Adam.
Yeah.
We were at Adam's park yesterday. What was your opinion on the ground? Because I thought it was really good.
The ground, it kind of reminded me of Crewe, Gresty Road. The
Yeah.
Bournemouth Stadium, whatever it's called. It's very similar to that, and kind of the town's very similar to Crewe as well. It's a 10,000-seater stadium or thereabouts, but it's the population is about 75,000. So usually they don't feel like up to about 95% of it. It's kind of like we could do sometimes, but yeah, I really tell you what, I did really like the outside of it, all the food and like drink stalls and whatnot. The entire fan zone, because you could go and get yourself like you go enjoy the sun and get yourself like some good scran and drink outside, because that's what I did. I went and got breakfast at half time.
Yeah, I didn't notice you went somewhere as well. Pre-match, I got stuck chatting to someone. Turn around, and I think you'd gone. Did you get what did you get whilst I was sort of chatting
I just
away?
wanted to get some chips and gravy.
Fair enough. Chips and gravy. Were they familiar with that down there?
We went to Bristol Rovers and got some, so yeah, they haven't.
We had funny looks at Bristol Rovers when we asked for chips and gravy. What did you have to drink?
I can't remember. For drink, I just got some kind of fruit cider. I mean,
Fruit cider. That is Adam's drink, fruit cider. Any cider, actually. What's your favourite cider?
I don't really know.
Yeah,
as long as it's like
it's just a random ramble kind of
thing.
Yeah,
as long as it's like strawberry lime or something, I don't really care. I love it.
That's what it's about. I mean, we've managed to go 2 minutes in, and we've not mentioned the fact that can't hear in the playoffs, and we got a third spot.
Welcome to the greatest podcast ever.
Yeah, I know. Well, I've asked you about what your favourite cider is before I've asked you about the playoffs. Before we get into that, actually, so just keep your mouth shut for a second. I was meant to say as well, the Under-15s Floodlit Cup final, I think I've said that right, is currently taking place. It is also live on YouTube, if you want to sort of switch between both. Currently, obviously, 0-0 at the moment. We are only like a handful of minutes into the game. Handful of minutes into the game, is that a phrase? I'm making it one.
Yeah, that is.
Okay, that's good. They won the last game against who was it now? The last one, the regional final a few weeks ago.
Was it Burnley?
Burnley. It was Burnley. It was bloody Burnley. So yeah, now they're into the National Floodlit Cup final, and we're hoping to win that. So it could be success for the Under-15s as well as the first team this season, because obviously County are going to go up, aren't they? So yeah, looking forward to that one. And we will try and respond or react to the goals as they go in. Stuart's in the chat. In fact, he was in the chat 5 minutes before the stream, dedicated. On YouTube now, on the 15s Cup final, County versus Bournemouth at Edgeley Park. I'm aware some of you will probably at the game as well. I think they've opened the Bagara stand for that one. So if anyone sees me sort of looking into the distance during the stream, it's because I've got the TV on. In the in the background, Nick 10 says, "Let's address the E." I'm guessing he's talking about the elephant in the room, which is, of course, Wycombe.
That was more talk about the cider. You can't.
We'll talk about Wycombe and then we'll go to the cider. Yeah, Wycombe then. You said 2-2 draw in the vlog. If you haven't seen it, do go check it out afterwards. Look, I said 2-1, so we were both wrong. But I mean, who was closer? Who was closer to being right? You predicted 4 goals.
I mean, it doesn't really matter. All that matters is we won the game and we finished third. And now we made a big statement with that game, and now we're looking good going into the semis.
That was absolutely brilliant. Wanted that away end yesterday. I mean, I couldn't believe it. Once we went a goal down, I don't know why I doubted us, because we've gone a goal down in, I think, every game since Exeter away, if I'm not mistaken. So, and we've managed to win most of those. So I don't know why I doubted us, but I just felt, I can't see us getting into this game. I can't see us getting a goal. If anything, I thought Wycombe were more like to get a second. They did get a second. I think it was just offside. But yeah, I just think once we turn it around, half time once again, substitutions looked like, I said to you actually, I don't know if you remember me saying it, or you'll say you didn't hear me. We started with a 3 at the back, and I felt like just before half time it switched to a 4, and Connolly looked to go to right back, and I thought we've gone back to a 4 here, and obviously took him off for Noyle, I think it was, at half time, and Ibitore was hooked off as well for Rydell down the other side, and Fevre just looked so much better, because when we started Fevre from the get-go,
He was
yesterday,
playing wing back.
yeah, he was playing wing back, and I was a bit like, we've not been able to see that instant impact from him from the get-go, because he's had to play wing back, and he's a lot better as a right winger. And as soon as he was able to have that license to go forward and not worry about defending as much down that right hand side in the second half, you could see the quality. And obviously, just from there, it just turned around. A big moment in the turnaround, I suppose, will be that save from Corey Adai. Of course, that kind of felt like a bit of a turning point in the game.
The penalty one.
Yeah. When Adai saved the penalty,
I do just want to say that was an absolutely shocking penalty, though.
It was, but I wouldn't discredit Adai with that, because you've still got to go the right way. You've still got to go the right way, and I think that's the thing. He went the right way, and yeah, I think he's had a brilliant turnaround in these last few months. Some would say he's bounced back, but yeah. I don't really know how I'm going with that. Anyway, Stuart Ryan said medicated, LOL. I say dedicated. You can say medicated, or both. Nick 10 says, let's address the elephant in the room. Wootton firing blanks again whilst Benno scores. What are Adam's views on Wootton? Championship standard or better needed? Look, I did not try to start this debate, but we'll have it. I mean, I've been fairly critical of Wootton, but I think it's been fair, and I think some of it's just preference on your type of striker. I think one thing you can't deny is he's had good numbers in goal involvements this season. So, what are your thoughts on Wootton then, Adam?
Well, first of all, I can't wait for the Wootton Defenders Club to come after me, because they will come after you over a lot of those criticisms. But like you said, of course, he's had some very crucial moments for us. But I don't feel like a lot of time. I wouldn't mind keeping him in the squad if we were to go into the Championship, but I feel like he would have to be kind of backup striker. He can't keep being a starting striker, especially in the Championship where the level is much higher again. Because he misses more than he scores, I feel.
He's top for chances missed, I think, in League One this season, which is fine, because I don't think Kelman's that far away from it, but he scores a load of goals as well. I suppose a lot of people would say that his job isn't really to score goals. He plays the type of striker role where it's more about bringing others into the game.
That has been true this season, but it's kind of weird dropping a target man down into the hole to make those opportunities.
Yeah. I mean, what I would say is I think Madden did that a lot better last season. He wasn't available for a lot of last season. I didn't feel like, certainly, I think there was a spell where he was injured. And County looked quite capable in those games. I mean, we had quite a more than capable season last season, and Wootton wasn't as much of a part of it last season as he was this season. Now, people say he's integral to how we play. Well, he will be if you start him every game. He also doesn't seem to take him off much as well, because we obviously brought in Cosgrove in January. There was a feeling that maybe it's a like-for-like type player, someone who can come in, maybe take a bit of, not pressure, sort of give Wootton a breather at times. It's getting on in the game. Maybe he's a bit tired. Bring on Cosgrove. It's a like-for-like sort of replacement. But he's never seemed to do that, which I think is interesting. So then you're sort of left questioning why we even brought in Cosgrove. Who knows? Maybe we'll find out. Maybe he scores the winning goal at Wembley and we sign him. Who knows?
Imagine.
Stranger things have probably happened. But I just think for whatever reason, Challoner seems to trust him with his absolute life. And I did say life and not the other word. So look, I just think he's done okay. In fact, he's done well this season. He has done well in terms of he's got, I think he's 18 or 19 goal involvements in the league this season. They're decent numbers. They're not top numbers, but they're decent numbers. He's done a job, and if we go up, he's played every game pretty much down the middle. So you've got to give him some credit for that. But I think, like what you're saying, I think if we were to go up, even if we don't go up, I do think we need someone else that is capable of scoring goals. Because I think if we had a goal scorer, we probably wouldn't be in this position now where we're in the playoffs. I think we probably would have gone up automatically, dare I say it. So that would be my thoughts on it.
Big talk.
We're not that many points off really in the end, were we? And you look at some of the games like where we dropped points in maybe certainly second half of the season once Louis Barry had gone. Sometimes you're left looking at those games and you think if Barry was available in that kind of game, we'd probably win that. So I think we probably could have. I think we were good enough to probably get a second if we'd had a goal scorer, i.e. keeping Barry for the whole season. But we've done really well to cope without having Barry, and I think
even
that's
better.
We probably look more of a team at times, as opposed to sort of individual quality. But yeah, I mean that's an interesting debate in itself, I suppose. Have we been a better team without Barry? The answer is probably yes. Have we been better in terms of in front of goal? Probably not. I don't know what you have to check the stats on that.
But beforehand, we basically were the Louis Barry team.
Yeah,
we would just get the ball to him and let him work his magic. So now we actually get more.
I still think as well with that though. Unfortunately, we never got to see it. But imagine if you'd had Barry on one side and Fevrier on the other, and unfortunately, due to injuries and stuff like that, it never really happened. Stuart Ryan's saying corner in the chat. I've just seen it's just been cleared. If we're up to the same point, just going to go back to the chat as well. 30 minutes of great quality, but 60 minutes of poor quality, and will not cut it. I think he said a similar comment on the match vlog, and I think this is the point, isn't it? County have been very sort of up and down this season, very much terrible or not great for 60 minutes, turns it on for 20 minutes to half an hour, and sometimes we get the result from that. Can we afford to do that if we're a championship team next season?
I mean, we can ride our luck a bit, but that can't last forever. Because especially this season, it feels like we're just one half. It could be maybe like the first half we're dying, and the second half we really turn it on. So really good for about half the game, but that's not really good enough, is it?
Yeah. Then again, I suppose I'd rather be really good in the second half and turn it around rather than start well, like our oppositions have done. Start well, get the goal early on, and then I'm dropping the lead to us. So I suppose if I had to pick one, it would be that. Panini said, "I'd love to see who he brings into play exactly." He's talking about Wootton there. We'll get cancelled. Chance on goal. He's doing the live commentary here, Stuart. Panini saying as well, from a financial point, County were never going to go face to face with the Brums and Wrexham. One spends 15 million, and the other is backed quite well.
They were going fair enough, even though we did we're probably one of the hardest opponents this season at Edgeley Park in that 1-0 game especially. But Wrexham, we did push all the way almost to the end. Everyone's thinking, okay, remember it was last weekend, wasn't it, when they went up? Because that's when we beat Lincoln. We were thinking, all right, if as long as Wrexham don't win this game, the next match day we can actually take them, we could potentially go up. So we have pushed them all the way.
That's when they beat Charlton, wasn't it? Stuart's just said unpaid commentator. Yeah, criminal, isn't it? Yeah, no, I think you're right, and that's kind of a point for as much as sort of financial backing as Wrexham have had. And I'm not saying this to be bitter about it. Look, they've gone up, fair play to him. Parkinson's done a good job with, he's got the best out of what he's had or what he's got. You can spend money, but you've still got to get a tune out of them, I suppose. But I don't think they're a great team. When I've watched them play, look, let's face it, how many times am I going to sit and watch Wrexham? I'm not subscribed to Disney Plus. I don't watch Sky when Wrexham are playing, really. I have done occasionally. I watch maybe the 2 games against them. I thought the first game, where I think, was it a 1-0 win? Louis Barry.
1-0 win at Edgeley Park.
Louis Barry with the goal. I looked at that and thought, we could have won that by more. And I think that the second game, a lot of people will be critical of the penalty that should never have been. But the
second game, we were dire, as I remember.
But we weren't great. We had a lot more of the ball, as you would expect, but they got that goal and they sat on that. And I thought, fair enough, respect it in a way. They found a way to win. But I think the fact that they sat and held on to that and they had to go, the fact that they had to go down to dark arts to try and win that game against us tells us a lot. It tells us about how much they almost respect the way that we are, and it also tells us that they don't think they're better than us, yet they finished above us. So I think I am right. I think that if we'd kept a goal scorer in the team, I think we probably would have gone up second, and that's why I sort of look at it mixed feelings a little bit on the playoffs. I think someone said it as well they left a comment on the match vlog about how much they don't like the idea of third place being a playoff. I'll go and check it out in a bit, so remind me on that. But yeah, I think County have done enough this season to say, actually, they are capable of going up from League One, and hopefully we'll do it at Wembley. Just going to say as well, Nick said if County had won at Wrexham, we would have been promoted. Cheated that day. I'm not sure if it was cheating as such, as opposed to weak refereeing.
Being an absolute prick.
Well, look, we can moan about McLean, James McLean all we want, but the referee was a weak referee, because if you're being bullied, especially linesman as well, include him in that. If you're being bullied by a player one way or the other, then you're not a strong referee. So that would be my thoughts on that. Like I say, we can say that it didn't. We can say it was cheating, but at the end of the day, it wasn't cheating. You know what was cheating? Stephen Fletcher blatantly handballing it on the halfway line, I think it was. Do you remember it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I remember.
Where was the retrospective action for that one, eh? They're all talking about Jack Diamond, retrospective action, a bit of a hair pull. I don't even know if he did. But then Stephen Fletcher blatantly handballs it. I'm not even sure if they stopped it for a free kick at the time. They might have done. They certainly didn't give out a yellow card or a red card for it. And that was absolutely... That was bloody disgraceful, that. So... yeah.
Unless they had unless the referee had seen something like maybe someone's gone down, and then he'd kind of blown the whistle, but it just wasn't too audible. Maybe if that was the case, then fair enough. But I can't remember what had actually happened before then, because the entire Wayne just erupted. Where's he got that?
I don't think it was that high pitch, but yeah. The Jack Diamond thing as well. I know it's kind of old news now. But they said retrospective action. They looked at. I think the referee said that he didn't see the incident, even though he literally had a really good view of it, and he'd just given a free kick to us about seconds later. So he obviously had seen it. He just decided afterwards that he got it wrong, and they'll change their mind, or he felt he got it wrong. Stuart said they detest playoffs. Yeah, I remember reading something similar. In fact, I will go and get it now because I should have checked that already. I was going to refer to some of the comments on this. So there's some good
comments on video.
Some good comments on here. Just checking as well. It's still no in that Youth Cup final.
Is it?
Yeah, under 15s final. Trying to find where it was now. Yeah, playoffs, detest them, worst thing ever invented. And then obviously Stuart's gone back there and said creates more money, which is a good argument. I think it was a good conversation actually amongst the people in the comments themselves about basically whether or not playoffs should be a thing. The person who initially made the comment said third place should be automatic promotion. That will bring in a lot more money for certain. Playoffs bring in some money, but not as good as if you don't win the playoffs. I mean, it's one of them. What I would say is it's always been one of those things, isn't it? Hasn't it? As far as I'm aware, third place is a playoff place in League One. It's like me. Go on.
Sorry, all I was going to say is look at the gap between. Oh wait, no, I'm thinking of the wrong thing. I was going to refer to the Championship because Sheffield United finished third, and the gap between them and Sunderland is it was double figures. But that's the Championship where it's only that's first to first. So yeah, that kind of does support it. I get where you're coming from. They have it in League Two.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's not clear cut. Sometimes it is a pure two-horse race.
I think I was saying it to you actually yesterday. Imagine if they did relegation playoff, the final relegation place. I think Germany do it as well, or something like that.
Yeah, Germany.
I don't watch Scottish football. Do I look like I watch Scottish football? I had Rangers Celtic on earlier, so for about 10 minutes, and I went out, which I think is what most people do when they're watching the Scottish League. I'm a son of a Motson, LOL. I lie a lot.
I'm not going to lie, Stuart, you need to provide context for that. So you might be a bit too young.
I don't get that, to be fair. Maybe it was relevant to what we were saying at the time, and Scotland and Wales do that. Yeah, he's just said that. Panini said, sadly, if we don't go up, we have to deal with away days at Plymouth, Luton and Cardiff. Well, let's face it, you're not going to be dealing with that, are you? And you perfectly legitimate fire stick Panini.
All right, just criminalising.
I've not said I've not said that he does. Sorry, he goes abroad to watch it, doesn't he? Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, he'll be watching that in Mexico, which is actually further away than Plymouth, Luton, and Cardiff. So you might as well just anyway. So basically, in a nutshell, Wycombe, what a day it was. Just how surprised were you when those goals went in for County? I'm more talking about the second and third one, obviously.
Yeah, because talk about the first, because the first they kind of come. I don't think anybody was expecting it because we were not playing well whatsoever until then. It was 70 minutes of just us not playing well because
Dead on
the second
70
half
minutes as well.
especially. Sorry.
Dead on 70th minute mark, I think.
Yeah, because the
there's been a goal. County have scored. It's 1-0. Number 9, whoever number 9 is.
They don't have the names on the back, do they?
No, they don't.
Yeah.
Just watching it go in here. Yeah, Stuart said goal as well. It is a goal. They're now celebrating at the bit where it says Odin Recruitment.
Oh, yeah.
That's not Odin Bailey, by the way. He's not got his own recruitment agency.
It's not Odin in particular.
It's got nothing to do with Odin Bailey.
You'd think.
You would think. I tell you what, that would be an FFP scandal.
It really would.
If he's got his own. Yeah. Anyway, we're not criminalising anyone here.
Yeah.
I
was saying.
I'm waiting for the highlight. I'm waiting for the replay. I don't want to show a replay, are they?
Probably not on YouTube.
You never know. I might have to go back. Anyway, it looks like a good goal.
Yeah.
Scored by number 9.
So
and County are 1-0 up against Bournemouth. Go on.
So yeah, as I was saying, it was the second half. Everyone the whole away end was getting really frustrated because we were basically being a crab side to side and then going backwards a lot. And then the 70th minute, the goal came out of nowhere. So,
but only Breckie Anderson with that goal.
Mm.
And I tell you what, he is ready to start matches. I know people will say that he's not, but he's ready to start matches.
He is ready to start. It's whether he does actually score because all his goals have come off the bench.
But he's only started 2 games, and we were shite in both those games from the get-go.
Everyone was shite.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He needs to start with February on the right wing with a fullback behind him, and we'll be absolutely flying. All the way to Mexico to watch those games against Cardiff, Plymouth, and Luton next season. Nick says Panini panned. He said that twice. Panini said, "Imagine the away day next season when we go up, Man City get relegated. Where would you?" Right. Anyway, Stuart said, "Yes, I agree. He's ready. He absolutely is ready."
Well, if can't play the United, where are you going to sit in Old Trafford?
What, Panini?
Yeah,
he doesn't sit in either, does he?
No.
Yeah, I agree. He is ready. I've been saying this. I've been saying this for a long time. Anderson. I don't want to get over the top about it, but once he scored those 2 goals at Blackpool and the header against Northampton, you've got a hell of a player on your hands, and it is frustrating when he's on the bench so often, and especially in certain games. I get people like Wootton, but sometimes it's just not working. There are games where it's just not working, and I think sometimes that's when he's going to go, right, I'm going to take him off here. But he always seems to go for Tanto. He always seems to want to take Tanto off instead, and it is frustrating because the thing for me with Tanto as well, he's got exceptional pace, and you don't want to take that off because that always gives you a chance in the game. Tell you what, County here, the ball's just been given away to County quite easily. It's in the box now as well. It's 2-0. It's 2-0. It's brilliant. I think he side-footed it with the right foot across goal. It's 2-0.
Well, Stuart
really set 2 up as well. It's going well. 2-0 after 25 minutes.
Let's hope we don't do a Lincoln.
Well, yeah, there we go. It's at Edgeley Park as well. But they're not attacking the Cheadle end. So they're attacking the railway end at the moment. Panini said, "Which County players are you in fear of losing to a buying team? I.e. Tanto or Pie?" I think Tanto's. Tanto. Stuart said great finish. Well, Tanto would be happy with that finish. It was a good finish. Tanto or Pie, well, they're just examples.
Yeah,
so who is the player you're worried about?
There's 2 that stick immediately come to mind for me, which is Ethan Pye and Lewis Bates. But if we went to the championship, if we really wanted to raise money for it, then we probably would have to. But both of them are just so crucial to us. I was going to say Brad Hills is very crucial to us, but he's only on a half-season loan, which is a real shame. He's an absolute Rolls Royce of a defender.
Yeah, I mean Hills is almost. I think he probably overtakes Horsfall for me at the moment. Yeah. If you had to pick, 2 centre backs to go alongside one another, it'd be Hills and Pye for me. And that's you know, Horsfall's been brilliant for us, so that says a lot. But yeah, I just think that Pye, I think that Bate, I think Tanto, I think we keep all these players if we go up. That's always been my opinion. Do you worry that we would lose them? Like you say, maybe we would sell them to be able to build a squad that could stay in the Championship. Should we get that?
I mean, I'm kind of worried that we might lose some of them like Pye and some window. If a big club comes knocking and they give a good enough price tag, then that could sway us. And that's even if we don't go up, I reckon.
Well, I think it's more likely that one of them moves on if we don't go up. To be honest, I think the biggest worry would be, you know, not just losing one, but imagine losing 2 or 3 big players like that. I think that would be really tough to take. I mean, we've sort of seen County cope, you know, in the absence of Bate over the last few weeks. He's been injured. Norwood's really stepped up. So we could manage a season without a play with one of those kind of players. We could find a way to change the way we play or find a replacement who won't be as good but will still do a job. I think it would really hit us hard if we were to lose 2 or 3 players. Nick's just said even Chowan in his post-match comments has stopped dampening down the Benno hype.
Good.
Yeah.
He finally sees it.
Well, he sees it I think he was trying to take the pressure off, wasn't he? But then he went and said something along. I think it was Chowan who said something along the lines of he's the most natural finisher at the club. So yeah, when you're saying things like that, it does sometimes leave you to think, well, why is he on the bench then? Or, you know, why is he coming on so late in games? If you believe he's the best finisher, surely you would want to start that kind of a player. He looks like he's capable of handling himself as well. I know he's only 19 years of age, but he looks fairly strong for his age. He looks fairly quick for his frame and that. So he looks like he could be a real handful for defenders. And, you know, if we do go up next season, he's the Championship Haaland, in my opinion. So, yeah, maybe I've gone a bit too far. I don't know. Actually, I don't think I've gone far enough.
I think they might be a bit too far, that.
I've not gone far enough. It's the Championship Haaland. In fact, maybe he's better than Haaland. No, okay, I've gone too far.
Just stop talking.
Yeah. I'm not dampening down the Benno hype, am I? Stuart said if we lose Pye, then we must buy Hills. That's got to be.
I don't think we'll be able to.
I don't. Yeah, you know, you took the words right from my mouth. I don't think we'll be able to buy him. And also as well, I think I mentioned it a few weeks ago. He's a Norwich City player. That they've got a new manager that will be coming in this summer, whether or not it's Jack Wilshere or someone else externally. The first thing anyone's going to say when the new manager comes in is, you've got to have a look at this, defender on pre-season tour, you know, wherever they go, and you know, it'll take a while, I think, for Hills to move, if he does move in the summer, because he won't go out. They won't let him go out on a loan or a permanent until they've had a chance to look at him. So even if he does go on a loan or full transfer, it won't be till probably early to mid-August at sort of best, really. If not, it could be a deadline day move. So I don't think Hills won't move quickly. And
all the comments I see from Norwich fans, they all want him at Norwich next season. They also, because a lot of Norwich fans are watching his development at County really closely, keeping a keen eye on him.
Yeah, but that's the thing, isn't it? Because if we do go up, or even if we don't, we've shown that we're capable enough to be at the top of League One around those kind of positions, and he's proven to be a player that's capable of playing at the top end of League One. So if that's good enough, then he's going to be good enough to play a part at Norwich next season in the Championship. So yeah, it's one of those, isn't it? I also think if we go up as well, Norwich are not going to want to sell to someone that is seen to be a potential rival. They also won't want to loan him out to someone that's a potential rival. So it's one of them really where I think he'll probably end up staying put. If he does move somewhere, it'll be sort of at a higher level than County.
League One.
Yeah. No, I think it'd be Championship or maybe even lower Prem. I don't think he'll go Wrexham, but it could even be a sort of lower end Prem kind of team could come in from. So I think that's probably more likely to be the case. Stuart also said, based on current squad, where would we finish next season? I suspect bottom 8. I'm guessing he means if we go up to the Championship. I don't think he means League One. So we'll go with, where do you think with the current squad, Championship finish next season?
Yeah, I think I'd say bottom 8. Also, I just want to say I think I might have messed up in that last bit. So if we'll talk about Hills or Pye or whatnot. But so I think I might, if I've said anything that doesn't make sense, then I apologise for thinking the wrong player. But yeah, I think I agree. Maybe bottom 8. I mean, reaching championship was basically the end goal. Well, pretty much the end goal of this 7-year plan. I know that we'll have other long-term plans in place before that, but at the moment, I don't really see us like going any further than that. And that was what was pointed out by Mark Stott in his 7-year plan. He wanted to reach a championship within 7 years. So then the question becomes, okay, so where do we want to go now? What kind of club do we want to be?
Yeah. I mean, I think the obvious answer is going to be Premier League, isn't it? But what kind of time frame can you put on that? Because it's there's some big clubs in the Championship. I mean, Sunderland, for example, being one. They're a huge football club. The area of the country in which they belong to, huge fan bases, 50,000 pretty much at the stadium, like week in, week out, and they're in the Championship. They've not been able to get out of there, so it's not going to be easy, and it's going to need a lot of backing, and that's going to be the problem. At the moment, we've been able to do a lot of it with just Mark Stott. I think at some point it's going to be a case of, is he going to have to move the project onto someone else? Is he going to have to get sort of investment? Investors. Yeah, and I think that's going to be where we could see a little bit of it's going to be a turning point, I think, for the club. So yeah, I'm sort of excited about the prospect of going up, but I think it comes with its sort of question marks as well. There will be County fans who will be looking at it and saying, I'm quite happy winning more games than not and being at the top of League One. Do I really want to see County go up to the Championship, where they probably will end up near the bottom 8? They probably will see maybe the club have to be bought or get some form of investment from elsewhere, and that will be a bit of a transition period once again. Some people wouldn't want that. Where do you kind of sit on this? Are you sort of, let's go for it, let's just see where the journey takes us, or do you sort of have a few reservations about whether or not you'd actually want to see him go up to the Championship this season?
Yeah, I've told you this a load of times before. We have different opinions on this, but I feel like right now, unless we do actually get our plans like spot on and whatnot, if we go up this season, I am kind of scared. I'm worried that we could go straight back down, or at the very least be involved in a long relegation battle. So if we do, it's fantastic that we reach these playoffs. But if we don't go up, then I'm not like, it's not the end of the world for me. It's like a massive dampener for me, as it would be with Carlisle, because this is our first season back in League One. That's another step up, and we've shown that we can take it to the rest of the league. We've got the right planning in place, but the gap between League Two and League One, you see loads of like tiny clubs that come up from League Two to League One, like Bromley are not almost finishing the playoffs this season. Then you got teams like Forest Green, who were League One very briefly. But the gap from League One to Championship, that's bigger. Obviously, the big one between Championship and Premier League, but you look at the teams in the Championship and the stadiums, we'll probably have the smallest stadium in the Championship, won't we?
Yeah. I think that could be a problem as well. Yeah. I think as well, I'm pretty sure we also reached, I could be wrong on this, but I think we've now reached our highest ever points tally in a League One season. I don't know what relevance has that got. It just came to my head. But yeah, I think it's one of them, isn't it? It's going to be really difficult going up to Championship. Like I said, it does have its problems, and you've sort of alluded to it there about the capacity being a problem potentially for the away end. Has County almost moved? Has it almost moved too quickly? We wanted to be in the Championship by 2027. Have we almost moved the project too quickly? Had we planned to be at this level at this point? Did we plan on being in the Championship potentially in 2025? And the answer to that is, I don't think anyone could have imagined we would have done it as quickly as we have done. So maybe it's a little bit like, every year we've gone up, everyone said, "Oh, can we manage it this season?" We got gone on a really good season. Whereas maybe this time it wouldn't go so smoothly. There is part of me that maybe it's slightly optimistic. Every year we've improved, sort of upon the previous year. We've always finished, in the playoffs as well. There's that part of me that thinks
2014.
Yeah. Every year I think we've gone up a position higher than the year before. I think until this season, obviously, first and then dropped to third, but obviously in a higher league. So there is that part of me that thinks, I think County would hold their own. Obviously, it depends on who comes in as well, and sort of who moves on as well, which I think could be a big discussion. And a controversial sort of discussion for some. Just going to go back to the chat as well. Stuart said, will Ben retire and is Wogan good enough to step up as number 2 to Adai? I think this is going to be sort of a big one because obviously Adai didn't start the season with the fans on side, or the majority of the fans on side. He sort of won the fans over time, but obviously a lot of people, there's still a lot of love for Ben Hinchliffe at the club, and who can blame fans for that? For me, Adai's come in because Hinchliffe's injured. That's why there's not been any calls to get Hinchliffe back in goal, because he's been injured. I just think what's going to happen next season if Hinchliffe does stay, I can't see him retiring. I think he'll give it one more year at least.
He has got one more year left.
Yeah. Are we going to see the clamours for Hinchliffe to go in goal again if we see an Adai mistake early on next season? Of which I think we could see a few mistakes if we are in the Championship.
Yeah.
So, and then the question is Wogan good enough? It's hard for me to answer that because I've not really,
right
I've not seen him. I've not watched any of him really. Big chance there for County as well. Nearly made it a third, I think.
Oh, still 2-0.
I think it's still 2-0. There's no scoreboard. Stuart's also said, question is, would prize money outweigh costs for Championship level? Brum fan told me that they have at least 60 million to invest to stay up. We can't match that. And yeah, I think that's a fair point. We probably wouldn't be able to match what Wrexham can spend as well. So we're going to have to do it smarter. That's definitely the case. And the thing is, there's been probably teams with bigger budgets before that have come up against us, and we found a way. And you don't always have to spend loads of money. There'll be clubs that spend money and they don't spend it well. County, it's a chance there. Tell you what, that was nearly a third as well. I think that's number 9 again for County, cutting a frustrated figure there, not making the most of that opportunity. They're doing well though, that's for sure.
Well, lads.
Yeah, so there will be clubs that have spent more money than us and haven't necessarily done better than us. And like I say, I don't think Wrexham are that much better than us this season. If they'd been better than us at all, and they've managed to go up into seconds, automatically. So I think it's about the recruitment. If we can recruit well, if we can recruit smart, if we can get good players in on the cheap, maybe sort of find a few rough diamonds that people haven't seen yet. That's what I'm sort of hoping we can do, and I'm optimistic we will sort of look to do that. We found Anderson, so maybe there's more in the pipeline.
Although to be fair, there were loads of other clubs that were after him, so he's not like a rough diamond. He was someone that was known about within kind of the emerging talent scene.
Yeah, he was, but the fact that we would have been on to him for some time to have got ourselves, to the front of that queue, and the fact that we got ourselves to the front of that queue for a player like that was quite well sought after and had been at some big clubs as well, tells me that top players or top sort of players with top potential, they want to come to County because it is an interesting project, it is authentic, it is original, and it is the real fairy tale story. So I think that's the point.
Don't get to that conversation.
Well, yeah, better not, I suppose. But yeah, I'm confident that we'll bring in some good players, and I think if we did go up, I think we would manage to hold our own. Obviously, we would have to sort of adjust and adapt to losing quite a lot of games. That's something we're not good with. Look, even this season when we've lost the game, I've flown off the handle a few times, frustrated. So I'm gonna have to get used to that a lot more. But I think that's just part of it, isn't it? If we want to progress as a football club, part of that is having to go up, maybe test ourselves again, and maybe this test might be a bit more of a test than it has been the last few years. But what's the harm in sort of going up here and coming straight back down if we come down a better team, a more experienced team, and ready to go again?
True.
Yeah. Stuart said there was talk of an Irish lad, but it went quiet. Was that the one? It was Limerick, I think, something like that. There was a young defender that was linked, if I remember correctly.
All right.
During the January window. It was brought up at the beginning of the window and then came back up again at the end of the window. And then we brought in Hills, and it kind of did, as he said, it went quiet. I can't remember the name, if I'm being honest. But maybe, centre back, I'm sure if there is anything to it, I'm sure we'll hear about it at some point in the summer. I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing what business gets done in the summer. Obviously, it will be dependent on who comes in, on where we are, if we are a Championship team and if we are in League One.
I'm just going to fact check you really quick.
Go on.
Obviously, I don't really know what thing. I never saw that transfer link, but it wasn't Limerick because they're not even a club anymore. So it was an Irish club that have League Vie on the club, but it made me think of like probably be someone like Waterford or something.
I think that was the one. That was the one. I'm positive. That was the one.
Yeah,
actually, that rings a bell. There we go. Shows what I know about Irish football, but I don't know anything about Scottish football now. Don't know anything about Irish football. Maybe I'm not cultured enough. I don't know anything about Welsh football either because Wrexham don't count. Even though they did want to be in the Welsh Cup at one point, so they could qualify for Europe, but stay in the English football pyramid.
This podcast has just turned into like every now and again a slag off Wrexham.
Ah, well, well, these are facts. These are factual things. I'll go Rafa Benitez with you. I'll go Rafa Benitez with you in a second. I'm talking about facts. Yeah, I'm talking about facts. So they're not digs, they're facts. It is true. I think that they did want to try and get in the Welsh Cup. I'm sure I read that.
They did. But so did Newport, Swansea, and Cardiff.
Can we get in the Welsh Cup?
No.
Well, why not?
We're English. Don't forget.
But they pretend to be, don't they? So they can get in the English league.
Yeah.
Anyway, this has gone down the territory. I didn't mean to annoy him this much. It's half time in the I think, in the under-15s Floodlit Cup national final. Big emphasis on the national, not regional now. We're better than that. Mm-hmm. Burnley weren't. There we go. I'll slag off Burnley now.
Right.
Can't be in the same league as them next season anyway.
Yeah, true.
They've gone up just to go back down again, probably. So yeah, 0-0, 2-0 for County at half time in this Floodlit Cup final. I'm looking forward to seeing. I mean, that's something we haven't spoke about. It's not something I hear too much about actually. We're talking about, what kind of players are we going to bring in the summer? What kind of maybe young talents have we got coming through? And that would be interesting to see a bit more of if we can maybe produce some sort of players. We did have a young player which scored last Tuesday night, who was the top scorer I think for the academy in their Premier League 2 group. I think it was. Mm-hmm. It was interesting. He got a run out in that sort of B team game almost. I'd like to see a bit more of that. Not just about buying someone else's player, but maybe producing our own. I think that is something that we'll start to see over the next few years. I think we put money into that area. Obviously, it takes time as well because it's not like you just put money into the academy and then overnight it starts to produce players. That takes time. I mean, if you put money into an academy, it probably takes 5 to 10, 15 years before you might see the fruits of that because it's not just the money alone isn't just buying talent. It's spending money to improve the facilities, to get better coaches, and all that takes time, doesn't it, for it to sort of come into place and develop. But we've got players like Ethan Pye. That will, whatever happens with him, he will be someone that young players will want to look at and go, he's a young player local to the area. I don't know if he was quite part of the academy because I don't think we necessarily had one.
I was going to say, we got him from Hyde United. Yeah,
but they'll look at him as an example of someone who's come in to County at a young age, local to the area, and think that's someone that can, look what he's gone on to do. Because there's no doubt about it that he will probably go on to become a player which is Championship, if not Premier League standard. Hopefully if things go as they look like they're going to go. Chris Burke said Dobra from Chesterfield next season, calling it. Are you aware with him?
Armando Dobra, yeah.
We were linked with him actually on deadline day, I think. Were we?
Yeah, I was going to say this is one that I've seen loads of times for County and it's never actually materialised. But especially if Chesterfield go up, then maybe we could. That probably could be a good one to go for. But I've seen it a couple times.
Sorry to cut you off, but why does everyone assume if a team goes up, they'll lose the player? Surely we'd be more likely to get him from Chesterfield if they didn't go up.
Well, if we go up to this season, then where are we going to lose Pye and Bate and whatnot and Tanto?
But I don't think we are going to lose Pye, Bate and Tanto if we go up. I think we're more likely to keep him.
No, not necessarily always. Well, not always. But, especially with they've just tried to step up in league.
But what league are they going to step up from if they're already in the Championship?
No, going from League One to the Championship.
That's what I'm saying.
There's a big gap that's been emerging. Yeah, I know Oxford have done well, but...
So you think Tanto would leave if we went up to Championship this season?
I'm not singling out Tanto or anybody, but a lot of our star players, we talked about that earlier, we could have to sell them in order to raise funds, and then there's big clubs coming, and they're going to put down some actual money like that we would want for them, unless we went FIFA Career at stupid prices.
We see teams go up to the Premier League, and everyone's sort of learnt from QPR, who just wasted a load of money, spent a load of money, overpaid on wages, then they couldn't get rid of the players, and then they ended up getting relegated anyway eventually. I think a lot of teams have learnt from that. Now they come up, they spend very little, they go back down, they come back up and they yo-yo for a little bit, and then they try to consolidate on that third or fourth time they go up. Surely it's got to be the same thing here. You wouldn't go out and raise a load of money to get rid of, buy other players if you don't think you're strong enough to compete in the Championship. You don't sell half your team to try and compete in the Championship. You probably go down and go, actually, we'll go up, get a bit of money, come up for the experience, go back down again, try and aim to come back up again, and gradually over time, but that way. Because
why would you come up just for the experience though?
Because if you sell out half your team going up to Championships, then try and assemble a team that's capable of surviving in the Championship that season, chances are you're probably bringing in upwards to 10, 15 players, like what we saw Forest do that time when they came up to the Premier League. Then you've got there's a settling in period for a load of players to come in. They might not even be good enough. Some of them will flop. And then you're just in a mess then, because then you go back down again, and you've got players who, they've only come for the money because, it's maybe the League One standard and they come for Championship money, and then they want to go again. Whereas what we've got here at the moment, we've got a good group of players, they understand the club. The last thing you want to do is tear all that apart, all the foundations that we worked so hard to build. You try and keep hold of as many players as you can. That would be the way I would look at it.
Football clubs aren't stupid enough
opinions on that one.
Sorry, go on.
Go on.
I was just going to say, football clubs aren't stupid enough to sell half their team. Unless half their team is a literal dead one, in which it's fair play. But no, nobody's going to do that.
But that's my point, though. So Tanto and Pie and Bait, just to name three. Let's say we go up to Championship. Why would we be looking to move on those players?
It's not that we would want to move those on, but if the right asking price came in, then we're not.
Yeah, but
you were talking
about using the money to try and get the money in to reinvest it into the squad. And my argument would be, well, let's say you sell Pie for 10 million. How are you going to spend that 10 million better than what you got with Pie? Because everyone's going to know you've got the money. So anyone then you're going to look at, you're going to be paying over the odds for. I just don't know how that's necessarily the smartest move. The only way those players end up going, in my opinion, is if they're really pushing for a move, or it's an incredible amount of money that we can't say no to. And I honestly think 10 million for even Pie, I'd look at that and go, maybe push it to 15. I would.
I'd love to have you as our club negotiator. You'd keep out. No one would be moving anywhere.
But that's what I do on Football Manager. I just tie everyone down to long contracts and then basically try and hold them hostage until I get the fee in.
Trap them.
Yeah. That's what. Well, the thing is, you've got to look to get the best deal for your club, and I honestly think selling Pie for, let's say, 10 million, you want to try and get more than 10 million. Because with 10 million, are we going to spend that correctly? I'm not sure. We're going to go to chat away because we've sort of gone off rambling there.
Yeah.
Pie is definitely going up even if we don't go up. That's what Chris Burke said. And that's my point. I think if we go up, I think we keep him. I think if we don't go up, I think there's more chance he'll go. And I'd be very interested to see where he goes. Stuart said as well, if we go up, then their value will rise perhaps to a height we can't ignore. I think that's a good point. It's got to be higher than 10 million now. If Chesterfield fail the playoffs, Dober will leave, but leaping 2 divisions, ? That's a good point. I was going to say that.
We did do it with Akko Wright, though.
Is he a target for if we stay in League One, or is he a target for if we go up to Championship? Because if we're going to go up to the Championship and he's only a target for League One, we won't see him come in, will we? So I think that's
probably the former race up there. Probably if we stay in League One, we'd go for him. But the other thing is, do you remember when we got Akko Wright? We got him from York. Fair enough, they'd won the National League North playoffs, but that was when they were in 6th tier. We were going up to the 4th.
Sorry, I was drinking. I don't remember that, to be fair. I wasn't aware of the details of that one. But yeah, I think that's the thing. Sometimes a big jump up could be... It's a good point from Stuart, is what I was going to say. Luke said, hi, you guys. Evening,
hi,
Rob. Evening, Adam. I've watched your channel since day one. Thanks very much for that one.
Thank you.
Yeah, and he's Chris Burks also said, I think we'll only get 1.5 for Pie max. Well, I mean, what you get for 1.5 million? It just wouldn't be worth selling him unless he's really kicking up a fuss, and I can't really see him doing that. I think, especially for like one more year, you know, the problem is you've got some good players there in terms of Bait and Pie. Like I said before, you don't want to lose them all at once, so you've almost got to time it like, right, well, you can go 1 year, you can go the year after, and try and do that as best as you can, because if you lose them all at once, especially as well, like, you know, who would be the worst to lose? It's kind of a weird question because you hate to lose any of them, but
Yeah.
I think Norwood has done really well in the absence of Lewis Bate, but Norwood's what, 34, 35. He can't do it next season in the Championship by himself. So Lewis Bate is the natural replacement, if you like, for Norwood. He's, you know, it's like he can take his role, he can take that mantle. I'm looking at Pye, and I'm not seeing anyone who's going to come in and step up for him. I don't think Connolly's on that level. He's also a right-footed player. We're very lucky to have Ethan Pye because he's a left-footed player. We've seen how much we struggle on that side of the pitch in terms of balance, playing out from the back when he's not in the team. You know, we've started to play Brad Hills there at times when I think Pye, you know, a few weeks ago when Pye was injured. But
we tried doing it with Torre as well. Tried pushing him to centre back.
Yeah, it's a very special sort of position in a way, playing left centre back. It's really important to be left footed to be able to do it, and there's not a lot of left footed players that play centre back that are skilled enough to play, you know, in sort of our back three or back four. So that I'd be really worried about losing either of them, especially both. But like I say, I think if we go up, I think we keep them. Just interesting that you think they'd be more likely to go if we did go up. Luke McDonald has also said, anyway, I think we're going up. I think we are going up. Is Bate back for Leyton Orient? I don't know why I struggled reading it out so much. I'm not sure if Bate's going to be back for Leyton Orient. I think they did sort of say he could be back for the playoffs.
Yeah, that's what he's aiming for. But he's not been in recent. Has he been in recent team training photos? I don't think he has he?
I'm not sure when he was back on the grass, as they like to say. But I think that if he is back, he's definitely starting on the bench. You wouldn't look to disrupt a team which is, albeit conceding first, but coming back from the, you know, sort of behind and winning. He also said, "Who do you think will leave? Sam Hughes and Luis Fiorini from City."
Oh, Fiorini's gone.
I mean, I never felt he really got an opportunity. Sam Hughes, it's Sam Hughes, isn't it? Sam Hughes and Fiorini. They've both got question marks over their head, haven't they? But
yeah,
we've also seen that Challoner has looked to sort of, he has a habit of, you know, keeping players out, and then he seems to bring them back in. I mean, sort of Conor Lemon and Hay Evans last season looked like his time was over. He brought him back for the second half of the season, and he became quite crucial for us. I remember that really good goal against MK Dons as well, which just sort of summed up his time. It wasn't really goals that he brought, but he brought a lot of energy down that right hand side for us. But obviously that goal was a great moment for him, and I think he signed for MK Dons after that as well.
Was it MK Dons or was it Wimbledon?
Oh God, I can't remember. I've put myself in hot water now. I can't remember, but anyway, he went somewhere else afterwards. And he's probably done an okay season. But the point is, Challoner sort of brought him back when it looked like there might have been no point of return for him. Odin Bailey, although he's not sort of gone out, he's not left us this season. He's sort of come back in at times and done the job. I thought he was good when he came on yesterday. Yeah, I've said that assist for the Brad Hills goal a few weeks ago. So he does have a habit of, okay, he takes players out, but sometimes there can be a way back for him. So sort of a long-winded answer really, but I think there could be a turning point for Fiorini. I also think there could be for Sam Hughes, especially if someone like Ethan Pye was to move on. You know, we might
back check over. Lemon Hay Evans did sign for MK Dons, but he was on loan at Wimbledon as well. That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah, I tell you what, I bet he's a controversial figure. So basically, I think there is a future for Sam Hughes still potentially. Although I wouldn't be that surprised to see them both leave. What are your thoughts on Fiorini then and Hughes?
Yeah, Hughes. To be fair, we could keep him around just like as a backup option. But I mean, who knows? If we're going to either keep him as backup option or we're going to send him out on loan again, I feel. But Fiorini, yeah, I think Fiorini's gone anyway, which is a shame. Well, but it's just not Well, he's not really shown anything in the games he's played, but that isn't a lot of games.
Yeah, he had a good game against Reading back in October.
I think that
I mean, we're sort of cherry picking in. That's all we've got to work off.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to be Cole Palmer, but obviously not. So Stuart saying I think Hughes will stay at Posh. They made him captain. Good point. Also, as well, we spoke about Brad Hills because Luke McDonald's come in a little bit later. I think he said, "Can we sign Brad Hills?" We sort of dismissed that, haven't we? We don't think it'll be financially viable for County to do that. He's also said Norwood has done better than I thought he would do. I think that as well. I was a little bit questionable when we brought him in, not because of his ability, but I looked at the age, I looked at maybe the length of contract, and I thought, is this gonna work? I still question if it was a 2 or 3 year deal. I can't remember how long it was now, but that's going to take him up to 36, 37. He's done well in League One this season, but is he going to be able to do it in the Championship next season? I'm not saying he can't, but there will be question marks there. Yeah. Hopefully we do go up, and hopefully he can perform, and he sort of silences those questions. But
and I think it was a 3 year deal.
You think it was?
I think so. Yeah, that's ringing bells.
I think my head's telling me it's a 3 year deal, so we'll go with that. Luke said as well, Stop County versus Charlton playoff final for me. 100% agree with that one. I can't see anything. I mean, can Wycombe do a job against Charlton over 2 legs?
Never count anybody out in the playoffs. If a team is in the playoffs, it's for a reason. They've been consistent over a season.
Yeah, I mean, well, look, there's going to be a surprise somewhere. There has to be. Hopefully, it's not Leyton Orient beating County.
Oh, please God.
Leyton Orient, I think I looked at it just before. I think they've won each of the last 6 games, so they're coming to this in good form. But I'm confident. We've not even touched upon that yet, and we're nearly an hour in. This has been great. We'll just sort of go through this. Diamond could be back for second leg. He will be back for second leg, I think. I wouldn't be that surprised if we had any more behind closed doors. Well, it wasn't behind closed doors, but sort of B team friendly games in between now and the second leg, possibly just as maybe get someone like Diamond a bit of game time. But yeah. What was I going to say here? Just going through the chat. Ashton Mee came back, but silence since. Yeah,
that's not a good cup games, Ashton Mee.
He missed that bloody advert, LOL. Yep, sorry about that one.
Shows you're doing well.
Well, it's not as much as you think. Luke said, let's hope back end of May. I'm very happy with United winning the Europa and County winning the playoffs. But take any away. I'm a red. Shh. I mean, I've even done the shh. He would have been in trouble yesterday. Put it that way.
Oh, that was. Imagine if you had filmed that. Okay,
I didn't want to.
Okay, so for context, in case anybody hasn't seen, 20 minutes in, apparently I've seen someone on Twitter say it was one of Adai's relatives, but there was a guy that comes in basically a full United tracksuit. He comes in late to the game, and the entire away end is just booing him and going, wanker, wanker. And they're all going, oh, Manchester is full of shit. And yet he couldn't even get to the stands, whatnot. There was one guy that was proper in his face, but yeah. I mean, is it appropriate behaviour? Maybe not, but if you're going to go into an away end of a club you don't support in another club tracksuit that is this club you're going into away end they don't like, then you're in for a tough time, mate. But that was
it wasn't great, was it? But what I would say is, when was the last time County played United? It's not really the point. I know you shouldn't really be doing it.
Wasn't when we were born.
Probably not now. Probably about 80s maybe, I want to say. By the way, just letting people know as well, that under-15s cup final is back underway second half. County are 2-0 up, I think, still. So yeah, I think it was just one of those. You're saying I should have filmed it. I thought about it for a split second. I thought, I'm not doing that. I'm better than that. I could have put it up and it could have got, it could have gone viral probably.
On the YouTube shorts.
Yeah, but not my kind of thing. It could have been worse. Could have been a Wycombe shirt. Actually, I was thinking about this as well at the time. Would he have got a worse reception if it was a Wycombe shirt? I'm not even sure.
If it was a Wycombe shirt, it wouldn't have been left in regardless. I would have thought it would have gone from the home end right next to us, because the stewards, they keep to their segregation.
The only way that's worse is if it's a City shirt.
Yeah, true. Or even if we go back to the old historical rivalry, it's Burnley or Stoke.
Yeah, fair point. Chris Burke said, I think if we go up, loans is crucial for County. I agree with that one. Stuart said, putting aside my bias, I feel United won't win in Europa. Reason being defensively inept and lacking cohesion. They at times play like strangers. Fair enough. I think they're all
Might be a
right.
potential video for you on TFR Extra.
When I get to it, yeah. I think that defensively, I think individually they've got good defenders. I think they're just looking for that balancing act of look, give him a pre-season is what I would say. Luke said as well, Wycombe are bad. Mike Dodds is not liked with Wycombe fans, and what happened with the Wycombe bloke when he came on, I missed it. I didn't see
the
that.
guy
one.
got injured. He came on. Who was it? Was it
Sam
I
Vokes?
can't remember who it was. Was it Sam Vokes or was he at a different club? I can't remember if it
Sam
was him
Vokes.
or
Sam
not,
Vokes came on, I think, at some point.
I think he got injured.
Yeah, I remember seeing the name Vokes, Sam Vokes, because obviously ex-Burnley and all that, and I remember seeing him as a Premier League striker. Getting on a bit now. Getting on. Must be 36 or something like that.
Mid-30s.
Then again, Jay Rodriguez, his ex-striking partner, he's playing at that team in Wales that playing the English league. So yeah, it's one of those ex-Welsh strikers as well. Back to me again. Stuart saying me played 37 games on loan. I don't think he's talking about himself. I think he's talking about.
I was so confused then.
Yeah. But it's like when Ben Mee played. When the commentator he scored and the commentator went, "Oh, it's me," and I'm like, "It's not all about you." And I realised it was Ben Mee who'd scored the goal. United, shirt is half right. Yeah, fair enough. I've got the IT.
Oh, we're singing that chant.
Anybody notice the commentary on yesterday's game was so bad he kept making mistakes? Who was on the commentary?
I don't know. It's usually John Kieran, isn't it?
Was it? But this is what I'm asking. Was it the Sky commentary?
Oh, true.
Was it the Sky Sports Plus commentary, or was it the official county commentary? Let us know on that one.
I don't know because, like I said, we were at the game. So if anybody was watching the commentary, please let us know.
Yeah, Stuart saying Sam Vokes, ex-Welsh striker, Flint Town, LOL.
Flint Town and the Cumbria Premier.
I don't know about that.
Maybe that's where it started.
Sam Byrne and someone else, not JK. Interesting.
Justice for John.
Interesting. Obviously, as I say, not listening to commentary. Don't really. Oh, Sky Sports Plus, Luke's saying as well. I thought it might have been. Yeah. So I believe it's fairly simple to get. Actually, I think it's fairly simple to get into being a commentator for Sky Sports Plus, from what I've seen. Probably actually don't need a lot behind you to do it.
No,
obviously
we could do it.
Well, I did a good job on this Flood Cup final, aren't I, now, because it's 3-0 for Stockport County. Number 9, I don't know his name, so already great start. That's my commentary career before it started. It's 3 up. Stuart's saying 3 up, and it could be a hat trick. I think he scored 2. I think number 7 might have scored the second one. Obviously, I've been half watching, but yeah, it is 3-0. County on course to win that Flood Cup final, national final against Bournemouth. They've scored 3 just a day after County's first team scored 3. And could both teams be lifting the trophy at the end of the season? We've not even spoke about it. We've gone for an hour and we've not even spoke about Leyton Orient and whether or not we think we're going to do it. I will get to that. Correct number 9 on a brace. Thought so. I have been watching a bit more carefully than I thought I had been. Luke said Liam Richardson and Sam Byrne on ours. Yeah.
Like I say,
not listened to the club commentary. Not because I don't like the club commentary, just because I'm at the game. I'm guessing it'll be on the match highlights, won't it? Their commentary.
Yeah. But, well, apart from when you go onto their site. Actually, no. Even on YouTube, I don't think they play it on.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I say,
for the football league anyway.
Yeah, sometimes I watch the highlights through. I think it's like ITV4 or something.
Oh right.
They sometimes do a show on a Saturday, which I sometimes watch Saturday night. That's something. That's what annoys me. You've got match of the day and everything for the Premier League. There's no sort of TV programs where they analyse in depth the Championship, League 1, League 2, and they could do it. They just sort of put them all together. Oh, it's the Football League. It's like there's 72 teams. I give it a bit more respect. Who Stuart's saying it's on the county YouTube highlights. Right, and here's something as well I want to sort of get to the bottom to. At the bottom of rather. Because this actually got me a little bit annoyed yesterday, and I think you might know where I'm going with this. I asked you a question on the coach on the way to the game. It's a very serious question. Very serious question.
Which one was it, man?
Your breakfast choice. Bacon butty.
Wait, what?
Bacon butty or sausage butty. Or
you know we need to talk about Leighton Orient game, don't you?
Yeah, we'll get to that. But bacon butty or sandwich butty? Which one are you having?
Sausage butty.
Both you and John said a sausage sandwich or sausage butty, and I'm not having that. It's bacon. Bacon's clear.
No, bacon by itself, like on a butty, I'm not a fan of. But bacon and sausage and a butty, yeah, that's the second rank for me, and then sausage butty first for me. I mean,
let us know in the comments. So you bacon over sausage on a sandwich in the morning. I'm very much in team bacon on that one.
I had a sausage farm from Mackey's right before it.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and then that's when we had a stop at a service stop, and I said, "Do we have enough time?" Posh boys, you got bread. Yeah, good one. Yeah, service stop. I said to you, "Do you think we got enough time to get anything?" You said, "No, they could leave any time." I get on the coach. We've actually had like 20 minutes when I could have gone and got something to eat.
Yeah, because usually it's like 15 with the Woodley coaches.
Yeah, but then you come out with food. You bought something from Costa.
No, that was on the way back.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I was like, what? I thought we didn't have time. You're coming out with food.
I don't think
I was absolutely starving. I could have died last night through starvation.
Oh, fuck off.
So that vlog nearly didn't make it. You know,
it's so over dramatic.
Not dramatic enough, some might say. Certainly when that third went in, I could have really gone for it, and I do mean the one yesterday. Costa, wow, Rich, yeah, I know, right? Yeah,
Rich. I'm from fucking Stockport.
Whoa, don't diss Stockport.
That's my hometown.
It's wonderful. It's full of I can't say those two words on it. But
do you want me to finish it here?
No, I'm good. All
right.
Right. Anyway, Leighton Orient. We did say we were gonna. Literally, I'm gonna go through the title of this. In fact, what is the title of this? I can't remember what I titled it. Wycombe review, playoff predictions, Wembley win, summer plans. We spoke about Wycombe review sort of, and we sort of spoke about summer plans, which was kind of going to be last. But we haven't spoke about the playoff predictions and the Wembley win, so we will get to that now.
The Wembley win, we still don't know if it's going to happen.
What?
Well, you put Wembley. If we're going to talk about a Wembley win, whatnot, we might not even get to Wembley.
That's not the spirit, right? Leighton Orient, are we going to beat them?
Hopefully.
Is that it? Hopefully. We're going to absolutely smash them.
I mean, that's what I mean. It's not realistic, mate.
Fair enough. By the way, people can check as well. The link is in the description below. If you want to find my Twitter or the Football Rundown's Twitter, if you're not already looking at that, I never really go to the description very often, but people do check it out. I actually fill it in every week, but probably no one actually bothers looking at it. Right, injury of the year award. Wotton's left hand.
Yeah.
Right, I get what he means now. I was wondering where he was going with that. My mind. No, yeah, he's talking about the thing on his arm. Yeah.
Yeah,
that'd be his right hand anyway. Anyway, yeah. So left hand. Why does he have that? I think he must have scored once and it done him wonders.
Yeah,
I do mean on the football pitch. Well, obviously as well, we should give a bit of praise as well, because Wotton, I have been critical of him, but he scored 1-0 against Leighton Orient away early this year. So
I was watching that last night.
I would. What, my vlog or the highlights?
Yeah, your vlog.
I was going to say, so if people want to see County away at Leighton Orient sort of earlier this year, do go back to that vlog, and hopefully we'll see it all again next Saturday. Stuart Ryan said who? Luke McDonald said Benno has to start against Leighton Orient. I'm in that camp, but he probably won't. Let's face it. Stuart said, we will win. This is in depth for a Sunday. I know, in depth. Well, obviously we got the actual preview, which will be done probably on Thursday. I'm not actually sure if I'm going to be able to get to the game yet. That's a conversation in itself. Absolutely said, been bandaged all year. Yeah, he has
Been
done.
bandaged ever since he came to us.
Probably. I've not noticed him not when he hasn't had it. But yeah, Lincoln McDonald said Leighton Orient 1, Stockport County 3 at their place, then Stockport County 2 versus Leighton Orient 0 at ours. Feeling optimistic. Well, that would be amazing. What, 5-1, 5-2?
Yeah, 5-1.
5-1.
Don't be too optimistic because, well, the game that we were at Brisbane Road, they gave us a good test that game. I know it only finished 1-0 to us, but they're not exactly slouches, Leighton Orient.
No, like I say, 6 wins in the last 6. When's the playoff final? 26th of May, is it? 25th? 20.
It's on a Saturday.
It's the bank holiday. Is it on the Saturday? I thought it was on the Sunday.
I've got the calendar right here on my laptop.
Yeah, here we go. It's the bank holiday. Bank holiday weekend. Is it 24th?
It's 24th because League 2 is the 25th and then Championship is bank holiday Monday.
I knew it the other week, but I've lost it now. League 1 playoffs. I'm checking this now. Sunday. You're right.
What, Saturday
24th.
Sunday?
Yeah, we're on the Saturday. Do you know what that means? Well, no. Championship is Saturday 24th of May. League 1 is Sunday 25th. I said 25th, so there we go.
Wait, what date is it?
25th, Sunday.
Oh, it's not a Sunday, is it?
Yeah, it's on the Sunday. I thought it was on the Sunday. So, yeah, that's when the final is. Sunday, Stuart said as well, absolutely spot on. JSY Talks Football Fan Channel said, good luck to Stockport in the playoffs. Thanks very much for that.
Thanks,
Luke said, happy days, all week's rest do we get? Have you seen that comment? Have I read that out
wrong? Happy days,
wrong?
all week's rest do we get? Luke, is it okay if you can retype that into what you meant by that?
Yeah, I think he's trying to say happy days. How many days? Oh, how many days rest? So we play on the Wednesday 14th, and then we play again till 12 days later?
Yeah.
Sorry, 11 days, isn't it? If it's 25th, is it?
It's over a week.
25th, I can't remember. Yeah, 25th. Yeah, so it's about a week's rest, isn't it? Roughly. Obviously, they'll have training in between. They'll probably travel up the day before, travel down the day before as well for Wembley, I'd imagine. Maybe even the day before that. Who knows? I mean, preparation will be key. Whoever ends up in that final, everyone will be trying to find that sort of extra edge, to give them, sort of try and do something different to what the opposition's doing. So it might be like, oh, actually, we're going to stay here 2 days earlier, so we get more used to the environment and all those kind of things. Fine margins, stuff like that everyone will be looking into. But let's face it.
My camera, I did like.
Yeah, let's face it as well though. Like County, they're the only northern team in the in the semi-finals of the playoffs. So
yeah,
everyone else is going to be a lot closer to Wembley than we are. And
that's not making excuses early for any empty seats, because we'll have a bigger allocation this time around.
I was just saying, now we'll know how it felt for Carlisle, because we were a lot closer to Wembley, obviously, when Carlisle went, and
even still we're 3.5 hours away.
Yeah, hopefully the furthest team from Wembley wins this time around. Am I right? Luke said, how many days? Sorry, dyslexic analysis. No problems there.
No problems, Mel.
It's still Bournemouth on the counter attack here. No worries. He said, sorry, lads. Don't worry about it.
Don't apologise, Luke.
Sorry, we just won the ball there.
Are they going to score?
Yeah, great commentary from me there. No, they're not going to score. It's gone for a throw in. Down the side of the Bagara stand, I think. So yeah, it's still 3-0. They've pretty much got their hands on the trophy there. Will County then have their hands on the trophy in the playoffs? We're obviously going to beat Leighton Orient, you'd think. Fingers crossed.
That's all I can say for me now, fingers crossed. I don't want to say anything just yet. I think the first playoff game, that will be a big... we will fully know then. But until then, it's pure speculation. We need to see how we perform in the first playoff game.
A chance here, cross into the box from Bournemouth. It's back out again.
Oh, thank God for that.
Yeah.
Got me worried, Sam.
Ball into the box again. Bournemouth. Keeper, I want to say got a hand to it. He didn't. He punched it out awkwardly. And now a bit of a scrap for the ball.
The keeper made a brilliant save as well.
I missed that bit. He sort of gone out to it awkwardly. Almost gone to pick it out of his hand, and it sort of ended up punching it away. By the way, it's away from trouble. So yeah, so I think it's going to be Charlton in the final. I think they'll beat Wycombe over two legs.
Yeah, I'd say so.
It's a county Charlton final.
Oh God.
In my opinion, we're going to beat Leyton Orient. I have to believe that. They're going to say that they think they're going to beat County. Do you know what I mean?
I'm more confident against Leyton Orient than against Charlton. That's all I'll say.
Well, if I was going to face Charlton, I'd rather face them over two legs, just because I think they're an awkward team, and I think that you can get lucky in one game. You can get lucky in two games, but it's a lot more difficult. So, and I think they would need more luck to beat us than maybe some other teams. I don't know. I just think I'd rather play Charlton over two legs if I had to pick. But yeah, hopefully we don't have to face them in the final. Hopefully Wycombe in the final, and then we can go and beat them. But absolutely saying County versus Charlton at Wembley for me. I think everyone's probably feeling that at the moment, aren't they? Other than Wycombe. Everyone other than a Wycombe or Orient fan right now is saying it's going to be County Charlton final, and then we're going to go and beat Charlton in the final, aren't we?
Well, hopefully, but thirsty. But given how both games ended 1-1 at their place and 0-0 at our place, see watch now. We'd go to penalties.
Yeah, we're not great at penalties, are we?
As we showed the last time we went to Wembley.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want penalties, but I tell you what, I would feel more confident with penalties with Corey Adai between the sticks. Did he was it a penalty shootout? Did he have to save a penalty in the playoffs for Crawley?
I can't remember that, but I do remember. Well, obviously Hinchliffe isn't available, but do you remember he saved 3 against Salford?
Yeah, he's technically available. I think he's just
but he's not going to play, is he? It's going to be Adai.
You got to pick Adai, haven't you? Really, at the moment.
Yeah, don't risk it.
I think it would be wrong actually to pick Hinchliffe now at this point in the season, unless something dramatic happens. Unless Adai literally goes to, claim the ball from a corner and then accidentally heading it back into his goal or something stupid like that, right? Which I've just fucking come up with. Unless something absolutely ridiculous happens, then Adai's staying in goal for me.
Definitely.
And I think even Hinchliffe would kind of get that. You know, you've got to remember these keepers. There's such thing as the keepers union, and I think they all, whilst they want that spot, they do also have to support one another a lot as well. But it must be a weird position. It must be a really weird position to be in, especially when you're normally first choice and then you find yourself sort of on the bench. It must be really weird.
It's looking to your minds.
Yeah. Luke said Nathan Jones is a good manager. I rate him a lot. I know he did bad at Southampton, but he was good at Luton. And Corey saved a penalty against MK Dons last season at Stadium in MK. What a goalkeeper Corey is. I remember him saving a penalty. I thought I did. So yeah, I'm glad someone's backed me up on that. Nathan Jones meant to be a good manager. Did bits at Luton as well. I think before going to Southampton. He's been a bit up and down sort of since then. Become a bit of a laughing stock for his time at Southampton, but he was highly rated. He did say something about being one of the best in Europe at a specific attribute, I think, a few weeks ago, which didn't go down well because people took it out of context. He also said about Wrexham about how he was going to go to the circus, and that didn't go down well either. So perhaps maybe not the best, but maybe not the best manager in terms of PR and knowing what to say at the right time. But look, he's obviously done all right to get him, get Charlton up and running, isn't he? So, I always think whenever I've listened to him, he always seems a bit odd. But yeah, obviously, people would say the same about me. So yeah, it always seems to do a good job. Just want to say as well, going through some of the comments in the vlog earlier from the vlog yesterday. Like I say, if you haven't seen it already, do go check it out for that final game of the season. We'll hopefully be back with the vlogs as well during the semi-finals. It's all just sort of dependent on whether or not I'll be able to get hold of a ticket because of the way in which they're doing it. But we'll
the home game should be able to do, shouldn't you?
Yeah. It's just one of those. I mean, I'd be gutted not to go, but it is what it is. Richie Wellings as well. He's mentioned, who is manager of. Where was he manager of? I think it was Exeter, wasn't it? Somewhere. Could be completely wrong now. I know it was ex-Salford.
I have no idea. Sorry.
Just want to say as well, we bumped into someone as well on the way back yesterday. Someone watched the channel. Great bump into him. He left a comment as well on the channel, so appreciated that. Yeah. It was good bumping into him, and hopefully might tune into this one. Hopefully we will get to later on next week for that one. Like I say, confident, but we will have the preview coming out for that one later on in the week. County, look like they're going to win this under-15s Floodlit Cup final, and it's been a great week, hasn't it? And that away day for me yesterday. I mean, maybe they didn't pick it up as well on the vlog, but the atmosphere, I don't know, but that was a really good atmosphere for me, and definitely up there with one of my favourite away days.
The best bit was the right before the teams walked out, we were playing "Hey Jude." Friggin', you could hear the sound vibrating through the floor the entire away and singing it.
Yeah, great. I mean, I actually enjoyed the away end as well. Not that I did sit down at any point, but I would have had leg room to sit down if I had done, which
you never do.
It's quite a rarity for me.
Like you bastard.
Yeah, being as tall as I am. So yeah, very good away end. I thought I really enjoyed that ground actually, and it's a shame in some ways that we won't be going back there. But so I'm at it again already, thinking we're in the Championship. Yeah, I better shut up, Hunter. Anyway, I guess we should wrap up actually, because we've been going for an hour and 20 minutes. Which is a lot longer than we thought we would. There's been absolutely no structure to this whatsoever, as people can probably tell. But hopefully you've all managed to enjoy it. Yeah, hopefully you all managed to enjoy it. We will probably be doing something similar at some point over the next few weeks. Maybe even get someone on if they're interested as well. Thanks for coming on as well, Adam, by the way.
Thanks for having me, mate.
Yeah, hopefully I'll be with you pre-match against Leighton Orient next week. We'll just have to wait and see what happens.
Like I said, no guarantees, but hopefully you can.
Yeah, absolutely. Big thanks to everyone as well who's joining live as well. And if you are watching it afterwards, don't get to like the video, do get your thoughts in the comments. Do subscribe if you are new as well. Like I say, big thanks to everyone. Really, it's been a great season and it's not over yet. And we're very much looking forward to it. Preview on Thursday. And I think County are going to do it. I think they're going to go up this season. I think it's going to be an unbelievable end to the season. And hopefully you're all sort of going to be part of this journey with me over the next few weeks through these vlogs, hopefully. Hopefully you've enjoyed it, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.